Okay, so this is just an amazing trip so far. Yesterday, I drove through Utah and it was like seven different landscapes. I'd go around a turn and I would just be like it'd be totally different and jaw dropping. And I'm just so happy I'm here. I'm so happy I'm doing it. I'm having an amazing time. I feel like I'm a little behind schedule, but I need to let that go. So yesterday, yeah, drove through Utah, got to a super cheap motel, $45 a night outside Bryce Canyon in the dark. It's really cool. I part of that is I've been wanting to my plan was to arrive earlier in the day everywhere. But I've been stopping at all these scenic points and I've been wanting to let take walks. I've been doing what I want to do and it's taking longer than 5 hour drive on paper. I've been getting to these places in the dark, which has always been a fun thing for me. So I arrive in the dark and then in the morning I like look out the window and it's whoa. So that happened this morning. I wasn't right at Bryce Canyon, but it still is fun. And the drive to Bryce Canyon, I went through Red Canyon, which was like cowboy. It was like where westerns are filmed. It was amazing. You go through two little tunnels, like little ones, like just the like little, just in Red Canyon. And then there was a sign for other canyons. It's just canyons everywhere. It's amazing. I'm sitting here because I can see the full moon out my window here, which of course is like pronoia. I walk into this motel room and the full moon is out my window, which is exactly why I came here on this weekend, was because I wanted to be at the Grand Canyon on the full moon and then it's out my window. So it's that's what this trip has been like, especially today. Yeah, on the way to Bryce Canyon, beautiful canyons. I'd never even heard of Bryce Canyon before, but my Pilates instructor said that she was more impressed by Bryce Canyon than the Grand Canyon when she came out here with her family as a kid. And I was like, well, I'm adding Bryce Canyon to my list. And I made sure to make it a stop. And I said, I'm just going to spend like an hour or an hour and a half there. And I talked to the lady at the liquor store yesterday in Utah, and she was like, that's easy. You can see it in that much time. And the park ranger, when I checked in this morning, same thing. She said, especially because I have the dog, I'm not even allowed to go down into the canyon. I have to stay on the paved trail up at the top. So I I had to just I basically walked from Sunset Point over to Sunrise Point and back, and it's just amazing. Like in the middle, you see like this long view. And then at the end, I hadn't gone all the way. And so I walked past Sunset Point, and there's like amazing, like I think it was like the Navajo Trail or something. I almost was tempted to put him in the car and go walk that trail. It looked amazing, super zigzaggy and a like little hole through. I would want to walk that trail for sure. It's just so cool out here. And it's so neat. I talked to my mom on the phone. And she was like, I'm sorry we never took you out here. And I said, it's fine. If you had, I wouldn't get this experience. So I'm really, it's just amazing. So then from Bryce Canyon, my friends in Denver that I saw the other night, they were like, oh, if you're going from Bryce Canyon to the Grand Canyon, you'll go through Kanab. That's where there used to be a sex cult, but it's not a cult anymore. Now it's just the animal sanctuary. I don't know the story. I'm super curious. The way they told it was hilarious. And they were like, it might be a great place to stop for lunch because there's some probably, I think they said for sure there was some good, they're vegetarian. So they said there's some good vegetarian food. And so I was like, all right, I'll stop in Kanab for some vegetarian food. But I ended up at a different restaurant, which was like meant to be. Just wait till you hear that. Okay. So again, just beauty, the drive. I can't take pictures. I can't describe it. I just want everyone to be able to come here and see it with your own eyes. You have to look all the way around you. It's like huge features on one side, usually, kind of flatness on the other. At least that's how it was today. Kanab, the town, I could see why people would want to live there. It's like huge red features up right out of town. Only problem is it's in Utah, but it seems like a cool town. I think they call it like America's Little Hollywood or Utah's Little Hollywood. I can see, like, I'm sure there's so much filming. The landscape is dying for filming. We Oh, so because I had to keep him on leash at Bryce Canyon, the park ranger had said Red Canyon is way more dog friendly. So on the way back out of Bryce Canyon, it was basically I had to go in and come back out the same way. So on the way back out in Red Canyon, I found a little trail and I just let him go off leash. So we had a nice little walk back, just back in the woods in Red Canyon a little bit. And it felt like I was in a Western. It's so neat getting to do something I've never done before. As I'm 47 years old and I don't get to do that very often or haven't in a while. So I'm going to do it more often. This is bothering me that I can see this. Okay. Um, Funky little town. I stopped at a crystal shop. So I was like, I've been thinking about maybe seeing, like, I don't need a new moon. I have a moon. I'm happy with my moon. But just, I had a hematite bracelet and I got that in April when I went to the eclipse. And I did not like it. It was supposed to be grounding, and I'm grounded enough. So I want to figure something else out. So I haven't been wearing that hematite bracelet. I did not, I actually, I don't know if I actually felt like it was, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm ready to say things like that, but I'm not wearing it. Okay. Anyway, I just went to the crystal shop and I picked out some things that I liked. So I'm going to show you what I got. The first thing, I'm not going to unwrap these right now, but cool sandstone coasters, 50% off. So I just got two of them. And they have cork on the bottom, which I appreciate, so that like they don't scratch the table. And then pretty sandstone on top, which will still absorb moisture, but they're heavier than my plain cork ones. So like when I pick up a drink, it won't pick up the cork coaster. Nice. Okay. First thing I picked up was this green opal. I've never seen this before, I don't think. I don't go to crystal shops, so I really haven't seen a lot of stones and minerals. But this caught my eye. Love this color always. And just I like having these. I like keeping these in my pocket. I like just putting my hand in there and holding it. And I was reading, they have these cards up by the things, and I was like, if it sounds like something I want, then I'll. Green opal is a stone that's all about the heart. This crystal is here to provide nourishing and rejuvenating energies to anyone struggling with emotional heartache. Green opal is also a stone that is here to calm you down during hyper-emotional times. When held, its soothing energies can be felt to the touch. Meditating with green opal repeatedly will help one fully open and cleanse their heart of all unwanted emotions. This stone assists in clearing one's mind and raising awareness of one's surroundings. It reminds us to live in the moment and enjoy what's around us, not what's distracting us. Thought that was good. I don't think I need to cleanse my heart of all unwanted emotions. I'm still trying to find mine though. Got to find them first, right? So that was the first thing. I thought that was good for me right now. Then I guess I did get a moon actually. I got this. It's a crescent moon though. Isn't that beautiful? This is made out of labradorite. I'm just going to pronounce them however I pronounce them. Labradorite is a member of the feldspar family and is treasured for its remarkable play of color, known as labradescence. The stone, usually gray-green, dark gray, black, or grayish-white, is composed in aggregate layers that refract light as iridescent flashes of peacock blue, gold, pale green, or coppery red. The predominant blue varies within the light, displaying hues from deepest blue to various shades of pale, almost blue-green. A stone of transformation, labradorite is a useful companion through change, imparting strength and perseverance. It balances and protects the aura, raises consciousness, and grounds spiritual energies. Powerful in revealing the truth behind illusions, labradorite banishes fears and insecurities and strengthens faith in the self and trust in the universe. Hello. Okay. Then this, I have never seen this stone before. These were so cool. They had these in a bunch of different shapes, but I chose this one. It took me a while to figure out which shape I was going to get. They had ones that also looked like, I think they're supposed to look like fire, but they look like Christmas trees too. And I thought about getting one of those, but then I decided to go with this instead. Isn't this amazingly beautiful? Okay, so this is called polychrome jasper. Polychrome jasper is a stone that's strongly connected to the fire element, and it embodies passion, exuberance, vibrancy, vitality, action, and creativity. This particular jasper stone also has very strong grounding, centering, and stabilizing energies that will deepen and strengthen your connection to Mother Earth. If you want more passion, emotion, or action in all aspects of your life, polychrome jasper will help you achieve this very easily. Polychrome jasper has an energy that's potent and alive. It's a stone that will feed your energy and revitalize your life. It will help you find a way to change a part of your life or an aspect of yourself to a more desirable state. Its healing energies will show you new paths and help you discover new approaches that will make you gain what you most desire in your life. I wanted a big one. I know. I wish I got a small one of these too, but whatever. And I loved the different colors all in one. So gorgeous. Okay. Enough about the rocks. So then I asked the lady at the crystal store, where's a good vegetarian restaurant? And she said, oh, that place right next door, but I don't know if they're open because every place around here is closed down for the winter. It's like completely the off season, and which I am loving. I'm loving how empty it all is, and I'm loving how cold it is. Yeah, but it was closed, so I couldn't go there. So then I just Googled restaurants because I was right at the beginning of town and I had no idea. I thought that was the whole town, but Kanab was way bigger. And there was a Cuban place, Havana Cuban restaurant. And so I was like, oh my gosh, gotta go there. Gotta try a Cuban sandwich in Kanab, Utah. So I did that. And I figured I would actually go in and sit down. This is the first time. We had just had a nice walk. And so I knew he would be fine in the car for a while. And I felt like just like sitting down and eating. I went in and ordered. They didn't have garbanzo bean soup. That's what I wanted, a Cuban sandwich and garbanzo bean soup. That's what I really wanted. But they had fried plantains. I said, what kind of plantains do you want? Because in Minnesota, they're all the sweet, like dessert kind. And the guy answered back talking super fast in Spanish. And I was like, oh, sorry, I don't. But he wasn't Cuban. His wife is. Her name's Cece. And she makes her own Cuban bread, y'all. It was amazing. Best Cuban bread I've ever had outside of Tampa. I told her that because she came out later. I'll tell you the whole. Anyway, okay. So I'm just sitting there. I go out to my car, get my journal, some writing, but also playing my phone games. And this lady walks in and is talking to them like really friendly, like she knows them. And I, of course, I'm listening. And she's talking about how she went and sat by a fire this morning already. And I'm like, okay, this is my kind of lady. And and then she was talking to the husband first, and then Cece came out and talked to her, and just really friendly. And the lady mentioned something about selling something and taking a picture with the person that bought it. And I was like that's an interesting thing to do. So I was sitting there and like thinking, am I going to be that person? Am I going to guess what the answer is? The answer is always yes with me. Yes, I'm going to be that person. So as I'm leaving, I go over there and I was like, I'm sorry to interrupt, but did I overhear you saying you're selling something? She very, yes, yeah, I'm selling a game, a tabletop game about, and then Cece chimed in and obviously was a fan. And the way they described it, it was like you make, oh, Scout is the lady that was selling it. She was like, it's about teamwork and like having to survive in the wilderness. But then Cece started to like talk about like making choices and emotions. And I was just, this is the kind of game that would, I'm not into games usually at all, but it just seemed like the kind of thing that I maybe needed to think about right now. And I was like, I think I want to buy one. I think this is all. And she was like, okay. It's expensive because they're kind of prototype. And I was like, that's okay. Like, I was like, do you have them in your car? Said, yes, I do. Like, I figured you would. It's that kind of situation. I bought this game. It's called Word Trails. But she said at first she was calling it Reset because she was like, it's like hitting a reset button on life. I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy that game. I need that. That's why I'm on a trip right now. Anyway, that happened. And apparently you can play this game by yourself. I don't know. I might do that tonight or tomorrow night or some night in the next few weeks. That that was just a kind of thing that happened. Felt magical. I sat down and just talked with it. Cece was like, come sit down. And so I talked to her about the bread. And I told her I grew up in Tampa and Cuban sandwiches, but yada, yada, yada. And I said the bread, I was like, I didn't even think about the bread. That's how good your bread is. And she's like, thank you, I make it. And I was like, unbelievable. And she said the best Cuban bread is made in Tampa, that bakery. And she was like trying to think of the name of the bakery. And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, it starts with an S. And then we both said La Segunda at the same time. It was amazing. It was cute. Oh, and her daughter's named emiLy. Anyway, that's just the kind of thing I love. That's why I'm that person. That's why, because that kind of thing happens when you're that person. And I love it. So I'm going to keep doing that. On to the Grand Canyon, but it was a 3 hour drive at least from there. And got here in the dark, but it's a full moon. I got into the park and it said first view of the canyon. So I just pulled on into that parking lot and I had no idea where. I couldn't even see the path. I had to go back to my car and get my phone and use it as a flashlight and try to find the Grand Canyon without falling in. And but then I saw some benches, so I was like, okay, it must be out there. And so I saw it. It looked foggy. Yeah. So I saw the Grand Canyon under moonlight so far. I can't wait to see it tomorrow. A bummer thing, like how unfriendly these national parks are to dogs, that I can't take them. I have a feeling that the Grand Canyon is going to be the same way. Stay on the paved part with the dogs. And I asked the guy at the front desk, I was going to be like, hey, anybody cool having a full moon fire tonight? I was going to try to get myself invited to like a cool group of rangers or people that work for the hotel or something. And he was like, oh no fires in the park. Federal fines of millions of dollars. Don't do it. And I was like, oh, okay then. So isn't that a bummer? I get safety. I get definitely don't want to burn down the Grand Canyon, but fire pits and circles and fire safety and I don't know. It's weird. Maybe it's just so dry up here. Oh, it's very dry. It's very dry. That must be it. I was just about to be like the boundary waters. I don't know. Anyway, no fires. No full moon fire for me. No. Oh, do you want your collar off? Do you want me to take your collar off? There you go. Yeah, no full moon fire, but that's okay. Make up for it. And I'll do some better planning for other things. Maybe I'll look into solstice, fire. Yeah. So national parks are cool, but not fire friendly. Learning lessons. Maybe camp right outside the parks in the future. Seriously considering like getting camping vehicle set up, like a little trailer and a car that can tow it. Because if I had a teardrop trailer with a heater, I'd be set. I'd have to buy that. But anyway, I'm just thinking because it's all these places that I've been passing, I could spend 2 or 3 months out here. I want to. I want to come back and spend 2 or 3 months out here soon. Why not? That's it. Days 3 and 4. I have no idea when I'm going to be able to upload this. I don't have internet out here.